Alright, if you've made it this far, then I'm assuming that you've completed part 1 of the Paper.li tutorial. That means your Twitter account is open on one tab, and your newly created Paper.li account is open on the current tab. You'll notice in the top right hand corner where we left off, the sign up and login is no longer on there. Instead, we have your Twitter thumbnail photo, my favorites, which is where it would list the newspapers that you've selected to go back to over and over again. Those papers could be found at the newsstand, so you can actually search for papers others have created and just subscribe to those. We're more interested in create a paper, so we're going to go ahead and click create a paper, and you'll notice a dialog box pops right up and says you can use the one-click paper from your Twitter account or the custom paper. That's the one we want. The custom paper lets you create a specific topic list or list of people to pull from, because we want to filter out information that we really want from Twitter and manage that flow. Whereas a one-click paper would take everything and every link from your Twitter feed and put that into the paper, which it doesn't filter a whole lot. So we're going to select custom paper. Now it's going to ask for a paper title. I request that you're going to create a paper title that ties into whatever it is you're interested in. On the direction sheet, you'll notice that I gave you the option of 6 or 7 different hashtags that we're going to use. EdChat, SSChat, ENG chat, so social studies chat, English chat, and also math, science, elementary, music, or ed tech. Those are the ones we're going to use. Whichever one interests you, base your title off of that. I am going to call mine the Ed Tech Times. Now the subtitle description, not required. You could certainly put something in there if you like. I'm not going to ask for that. Next, you have the update frequency. You can have the daily edition, which sends you a daily paper. My papers actually publish right to Twitter, and I get a tweet that tells me that I put that out there. So I don't get an email every day, but I do get a notification on Twitter. There's the morning and evening editions, so it would be twice a day that your paper's published. Or what most people like to do is the weekly edition. Once a week it publishes this paper, lets you know that it did, and that's when you can kind of catch up on things and share with others. I'm going to choose the weekly edition for this sample paper. After that, go ahead and click Next. Now, this is where it could get a little bit more tricky. You'll notice that it already mentions some featured tweeters, but we're not going to use those. We're tailoring this to our own needs. In the future, if you create a paper of your own, you could select news tweet accounts, business Twitter accounts, entertainment Twitter accounts, technology and science in general, sports, and even leisure. What we're going to do though is we're going to take those hashtags that I listed and you're going to pick one of those to create your paper. So I chose EdTech. I'm actually going to type in hashtag EdTech and hit enter or return. Now, it gives you 2 sections to start off, the Twitter search and Twitter users. Now we're going to go with under Twitter search because there are tweets mentioning this hashtag. All you have to do is click the plus sign. You'll notice now that you have your selected sources on the right hand side, and the tweets mentioning EdTech have been added there. If you were to add more, you could rearrange them and put them in different orders. You have the filtering option where you could say, okay, not just EdTech hashtag, but these particular words. It's like the advanced search features we discussed in our course. I'm not going to use any filters, so I'm going to click remove filter. And if you make a mistake, you can always delete whatever you put on here. So you've searched for your hashtag, you've added it from the left column, and you should see it now in your right-hand column. Once that's done, you'll click Done in the bottom right-hand corner. So this will go ahead and process for you, and it should bring up your newspaper. So it's going to process the first edition of your paper. As you look at it, it's going to take some getting used to, but it should look fairly familiar. So here comes mine. And you'll notice your title's up there at the top. There is an edit mode and additional settings, so you can go in and tweak this to your particular needs. But as you scroll down, you'll notice you have a home, topics below, so you can narrow this down a little bit more. It automatically creates those. You can edit down to just photos or videos, so it does let you edit down even more on the fly. There's also the share option, which we're going to come back to in a moment, and a subscribe option. You are the editor, so your Twitter bio and the number of views and subscribers for your paper will show up on the right-hand side. And as you go through, you'll see your edition date, when the next update's ready to come out, and an archive link, so you can always go back to old papers as well. So go ahead and peruse through your paper if you like, but we do have one last thing that we need to do before we move on. The share button, the top right hand corner share button, we're going to go ahead and click there, and this is part of the assessment for your project here. I need to see your paper tweeted out with a particular hashtag. So you've clicked share, the dialog box pops up, and you're going to select tweet. That will bring up another dialog box, and you'll notice it says read your title, mine is EdTech Times, today's top stories via Cisco EDU and Mathletics AUS, and then it gives the link. Yours will have different top story people mentioned. What's nice about this is when you're building a personal learning network, you're tweeting out and connecting with people automatically through this tool. So Cisco EDU and Mathletics AUS are going to see that I have a paper that pulls in their stuff, and now I'm connected to them a little bit. So these can help you build that personal learning network. Before you tweet this out, you are going to put in the following hashtag. Hashtag IDT516 Paper.li, all one word. This will show that you've successfully completed the process. It'll tweet that out, and I will look to see that you've got that out there on the Twitter sphere, so to speak. So go ahead and click tweet. Now it may go ahead and give you others to follow. Just go ahead and close that. Close the other dialog box, and you're back to your paper. From this point forward, you're set to receive this paper as often as you originally signed up for at the beginning. But I encourage you to continue to explore. Check out that edit button, that edit mode or the settings, and tailor this to your particular needs. It's got some neat features to it. You can take out stories, you can rearrange them. Take your time, try it out, see what you come up with, and feel free to share any other tips or tricks that you come up with. Otherwise, enjoy your paper, and thank you for listening.